Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Forecast. I'm StormTracker8 forecaster Tyler Hull here on this Thursday, February 26, 2026. And this afternoon, I'm joined by our podcast producer who does a great job around here, Mary Catherine Price. How are you doing, MC?
Hey, Tyler. I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a rainy Thursday across the area. So we'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. And the ongoing windy conditions in the plains, which has led to ongoing fire concerns, unfortunately, for those folks. And an updated look at the upcoming weekend. So we always like to talk about today in weather history on this show. And for today, there's a couple of winter storms that happened across the Central Virginia region on this date. 2003, we had a winter storm that impacted Central and East Central Virginia. Did not see any totals with that. But then in 2015, a snowstorm produced 5 to 10 inches of snow across our area. MC, I know you're from this area. Do you remember either of those storms?
I do remember the 2015 storm because I was like, wow, this is quite a bit going on here. And I think we had some days off of school, which I always talk about Hopewell never has days off of school because it always seems like the snow comes much north of us. And since we're so south, like sometimes there's a line, it feels like, where we don't get any snow. And this time we actually got it. So I think if I'm remembering correctly, we had some days off, and that was pretty cool. Yeah. When you're in high school to get a day off school, you don't want to, Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could relate. I definitely had some snow days growing up in New Hampshire. Granted, there's a lot more plows in the Northeast versus Virginia, so it's a little bit different. But I had some snow days as well.
What's the most snow you saw while you were up there?
Oh, gosh.
If you can remember.
Probably like around a half a foot to a foot or so, multiple times, and also in college in Vermont, same thing. So yeah, feet of snow for sure I've seen, and I know they're dealing with that right now as we speak after the blizzard of 2026 just a few days ago. So we're taking a look at the satellite and radar, and we have a rainy Thursday ongoing across Central Virginia with this weather system riding over us. And if you look pretty closely, I would say in the higher elevations of West Virginia and Virginia, there may be even a little bit of a rain-snow mix happening in those higher elevations. But overall, pretty quiet outside of that. Basically, the western two-thirds of the United States, pretty quiet under high pressure. High pressure is tranquil conditions, right? And today we're dealing with this low pressure riding over us. And Mary Catherine, the past couple of Sundays have been wet, and I'll get into the drought in just a little bit, but today's another rainy day for sure across the area.
Yeah, it was kind of nice I like the rain. I like waking up to the rain when I can hear it outside.
Right.
But I did get rained on today. Like I went outside and it didn't look like it was raining, and then I didn't have my jacket and my hood on, and I was like, oh no. So I got kind of like rained on this morning when I was letting my dog out. But I did bring my jacket to work today.
Good.
So I have it. I didn't get rained on after that, but Percy got me rained on this morning. I'll blame him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens, right? So we've been talking about this week about the fire weather, and what this graphic is red flag warning. So it's a combination of really dry ground plus the gusty winds that these particular areas, so parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado, Texas, and even Florida, dealing with grass and brush fire concerns through tonight. And also, obviously, the drought, which we're going to get into this afternoon as well. So every Thursday, we get an updated look at the drought. We did make some improvements here in Virginia, which is great news. But out here in the Southwest, they're still dealing with severe to extreme drought conditions, unfortunately. So they need more moisture out there. I understand Colorado is well below average as far as the snow is concerned for the Rockies. So that's a concern as well for that area.
Is the red area where it's really extreme? And then the yellow is the more mild.
Right.
Mornings,
Yeah. So yellow is abnormally dry, and red is extreme, and the dark red is exceptional. So, showing the deficit of rain in those particular areas. So, yeah, we made some improvements in Virginia versus last week because that orange color you see, or the severe drought, it basically covered all of Northern Virginia. Well, that has been eliminated, so that's great news for those folks. And that yellow, or that abnormally dry, has actually expanded now into Williamsburg all the way down to Hampton Roads, when last week there was that pretty expansive moderate or tan color drought. So we made some improvements this past week. So good stuff.
I was thinking about this. Doing this show, I'm more clued into like the drought situation.
Yeah.
Because we talk about it.
Yeah.
And especially also just being a part of the news, you're more clued into it because that's what you guys talk about sometimes when you're doing your forecasting. And one of the first things I thought of last Sunday when I woke up and I just saw it was going to be like rain all day, like downpour. We had really heavy rain at my house.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be so good for the drought conditions.
Yeah.
And I felt like kind of silly, but I was like, you know what? I learned that on Beyond the Forecast. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the past 2 Sundays, we've gotten some really good rain around here. And obviously today as well, we're seeing some good rain as we take a look at real-time Viper radar, dealing with ongoing scattered showers across the area. So good indoors day, good day to, read a book, do indoor activities. Obviously, the roads will be wet when you're heading back home from work and school later on today. So plan accordingly out there.
And keep your lights on. I saw a lot of people driving this morning with no lights on, which is kind of makes it hard to see sometimes.
Not safe.
No.
Yeah. Low beam headlights at least. The windshield wipers, right, and driving carefully if you're encountering puddles out there. But this is not a flooding rain or anything like that. This is just very, light nuisance rain that we continue to see. So later on today into tonight, it will be drying out, which is good news. So by this evening and tonight, it'll become more of kind of like a sprinkle or a shower or two situation later on this evening. And temperatures will be falling back into the 30s by Friday morning, mid-30s. So it will be a little bit chilly as you head back to work and school on Friday morning. So heads up to everyone out there making plans. But the second half of Friday looks good, MC, as we'll see afternoon sunshine breaking out. So great way to end out this work week across the area.
Yeah, and the good news keeps coming, right? Because this weekend is going to be lovely, at least Saturday. I don't know about Sunday, but I know Saturday is supposed to be really pretty outside.
Yep. Yeah, I'll get into that in just a little bit. But wanted to recap the high temperatures this month. So, December, we had a couple of weeks that it was cold. January as well. February continued that trend. All these blue dates are below average. Wow. But yesterday, we hit 58 with late day sun yesterday. Warmest day of this particular week, so good stuff. And today a little bit cooler than yesterday, and then tomorrow and the weekend looking really good across the area, which we'll get into in just a little bit.
You know what also has been making me so happy, Tyler? When we leave at night, the sun is still up. It was light when I left the building at 6 o'clock the other night. And I was like, oh, it's coming, it's happening. So daylight saving time is it in March?
Yes, okay. Spring forward. Good reminder. We'll be talking about that next week. I got to double check on that. But yeah, it's in March. So right around the corner, we'll be springing forward with our clocks. But yeah, I know as far as the sunset is concerned, we're going to see our first 6 p.m. sunset this evening. So, we will be adding daylight every day. So, good stuff there.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, and getting into the warmer weather, there is some signs here that the second half of next week and next weekend, we may see well above average temperatures. So, I think a lot of people are going to be excited about that.
I know. We were talking about it this morning because the River City Half Marathon and 5K is the 7th.
Right,
so,
next Saturday, yeah.
Yes, so it could be warm for runners, which when I did run way back a long time ago, I preferred it to be warm rather than cold. Because I think it's easier to breathe when it's warmer outside. I always felt like when it was cold and I was trying to breathe, it hurt almost at sometimes because you're breathing in such cold air into your body.
Yeah, cold and dry air versus warm and, muggier air for sure does make a big difference for sure when it comes to training for running. And speaking of running, this is going to be a really good weekend. So tomorrow and the weekend going to be really good for running outside, preparing for that next weekend, any sort of outdoor activities. But yeah, as you alluded to, Saturday is going to be the pick day of this weekend with temperatures well into the 60s and a lot of sunshine.
Do you have any weekend plans, like outdoor weekend plans?
Not yet, but I definitely should try to get outside this weekend with my girlfriend. So we'll see. We'll
a nice walk or something.
Try to think of a nice walk together. Yeah, it'd be nice. What about you?
I'm excited to share that Jessica Kirk, meteorologist here, and I are going to do a book crawl together.
What is that?
So, it's so fun. So you pick a few different like coffee shops, and you go to each different coffee shop. It's kind of like a beer crawl, except you're doing it with cute little coffee shops, and you read while you do it. So we're going to start at one near my house. And we're going to sit, and we're going to have our little coffee and our little breakfast, and we're going to read, and then we'll go to the next one, and then at the third one, once we're done, we'll look and see how many pages we read together and see how we did for that day. So I'm excited about that one, and maybe we'll get to sit outside at some of those places.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be nice out.
So that's Saturday morning?
Saturday morning, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So, outdoor reading on Saturday, or as I said, running, preparing for the River City Half Marathon and 5K, going for a walk somewhere, walking your dog. I know a lot of folks around here at 8 News have dogs, including yourself. So good dog walking weather too.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, we get into early next week, and it's looking interesting right now in the computer weather models. So we're going to have a weather system coming on in here early next week, and it's going to be pulling in a lot more colder air to the mid-Atlantic once again. So we're going to be much colder next Monday and next Tuesday, and there is some signs right now that we could be in potentially for a wintry mix of rain/snow, believe it or not, next Monday and next Tuesday. So
seems like
crazy.
We're copying and pasting the weeks one after the other, and that's what it feels like. We're stuck in a loop right now, where we have these wet weeks, and then it gets warmer, and then out of nowhere, it just starts snowing.
Yeah, and something really important to note here is that the rest of today through Sunday, it'll be very mild. The ground's going to be mild. Obviously, it's going to be wet tonight after the rain pushes on through. So any wet snow that does develop on Monday, just like we had this past Sunday, will take probably at least a couple of hours to really start accumulating. So it won't be, we won't be seeing a ton of snow out of this because, again, the ground will be warm leading up to it. It's been above average. It will be above average, I should say, the next few days. So, obviously we're going to be fine-tuning that forecast the next few days and really obviously updating you on air and online for all that information. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But before we get to that, did put out a weather poll question. The weekend looks fantastic, so please let us know in your comments below. Are you looking forward to the mild and beautiful weekend across Central Virginia for the final days of February and the first days of March? Hard to believe.
I know.
So it should be a good outdoors weekend. And then, as I said, early next week, looking pretty interesting right now in the computer weather models. So we'll keep you posted on that. Of course, Matt will have a full updated look at the 8-day forecast in a couple of hours at 4 o'clock. And otherwise, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Beyond the Forecast.